It is such a gorgeous day outside. Have you catch yourself frequently comparing yourself to others? Often in an attempt to make evaluations of yourself, but have you thought, at what cost am I doing this? It is very normal to find yourself comparing yourself to other people, especially with all the social medias around it, to make it 10 times easier. It seems like when we were younger, growing up, we would still compare each other, but it would be with someone who we studied with or some neighbor that had maybe a better house or the best Barbies or something. The tendency to compare ourselves to others, it's as human as any other emotion that we may feel. If we think twice, at what cost are we actually comparing each other? Is it serving any real purpose? Do you think that it's something you're getting value out of? Our brains are this mechanism that we all use constantly to help us move forward. I'm going to describe you today the actual reasons why comparing ourselves to others is not pushing us forward and what this is doing to our brains and to our progress. At the same time, I'm also going to give you some strategies to shift this whole around. Make sure that we are actually working towards that self-betterment and that growth mindset that we all want at the end of this game. Alright, sweetie, let's talk. Way that you're comparing yourself with anyone else in this world is actually comparing their broadcast shows against your behind the scenes. Does this tell you the full story? It doesn't. It really tells you all the highlights and all the great things that everyone else is doing, and you're just comparing that against your journey, against all the steps that you're working towards. If you think about it, is this an accurate information? Remember, we are all in this journey, moving step by step, trying to get more out of ourselves. It's a really intense journey that is going to make us better every single day. You see people around, they're not gonna show you their journey. They're not gonna show you all the struggles that they're going through. They're just going to show you the better self, the highlights. That's what you're seeing and that's what you're comparing yourself. Just think for a second, is this an accurate information for you to grasp and use it as a metric? Comparing ourselves also requires very strict metrics. These are very hard to define when you are comparing someone that you just see just the outside. This metrics keeps constantly changing and we keep adjusting. So you're pretty much comparing a very vague version and very vague idea on what this actual person is showing you and what you think that's actually true, when in reality it might not even be true. Comparing ourselves affects the way that we look at ourselves and have a sense of joy and fulfillment on what we are. It just gives more value on the energy that another person is projecting rather than focusing on your own and just giving yourself a little bit more worth, all the value and all the energy just going towards yourself. Even spending 1 minute comparing yourself, your accomplishments, your journey, everything that you have accomplished so far with someone else or another thing, it's 1 minute way too many. You are so full of experiences, gifts, accomplishments, struggles, mistakes, and everything that has built yourself so far. Those things cannot be compared with anything else, just because what you've been through, it's what has made you the way that you are right now, your personality, your traits. When you go inside a cycle of comparing yourself with whatever it is, a human being, a video, a picture, an Instagram feed, accomplishments of someone else, you will get into this loop of possible comparisons you can attain, which will become a never-ending cycle on all the possible comparisons that you can do against yourself, which will at the end trench your success, and it's going to make you think that you're not gonna reach success because there's always something better or something else or someone else your focus is on that you're still not the same as them. You never feel good enough with what you're doing and what you're achieving. Just to put it in a way, comparison is really just distracting us from our energy and our focus. It just absolutely adds no value, no fulfillment. It's just a temporary fix there is some ways, some strategies that can help us being acknowledge and recognize what's happening and shifting that around into our benefit. Engage with your past self just as much so that you don't have time to compare yourself with others. Thoroughly analyze everything you've been through and compare those with your current self. Do this regularly so that you don't really have time to just walk around and compare yourself with anything else. Disassociate yourself with society's definition of success. Remember, there's around 8 billion people in this world, which every single human being has a different personality and has a different way of handling things. Work on your own journey and do what works best for you at the time and not what's working for another person at the same time. Take more time in appreciating things rather than competing against others. Someone else's success does not mean that your life is going to be unsuccessful. I don't know why that's such a common misconception that if someone else is successful, that means that I am not going to be, so I have to compete. We can all win. We can all win in this world. There's absolutely no reason why I need to be better than someone else. I need to be better than my own self. You will listen to me talk a lot about gratitude just because I feel that we all have to be grateful to what we have been given so far and what we have been able to accomplish so far. We have been placed in this world for however many years you've been alive, and if you look back, you can see all the things that you have been able to live, all the experiences that you've been able to have. Looking for inspiration in other people, it's something that it's pretty helpful when it comes to going into your own journey. Learning from others, it's something that you can definitely get a huge benefit of. Just remember not to cross the line between learning, being inspired by someone else, instead of comparing yourself with someone else. Define that line and be sure to be on the right side of the spectrum. Feel free to ask questions to understand other people's struggles or whatever it is that you feel that is going to be helpful in your life. Just remember that this is only for getting inspiration and for admiring other people's talents instead of comparing. We strive to be the best versions of ourselves, and it's not just for us and to work towards our journey. You can think about it as it can be a huge benefit for other people, serve as a contribution to others. Let's celebrate all the little accomplishments that you have been making so far and all the ones that are coming into your future without comparing them to others. I believe in you and I know you have a great future ahead of you. So just keep doing what you're doing and keep improving by bit and growing by bit every single day. So, next time you find yourself using someone else as a benchmark on how much you're worth, remember how ineffective this strategy is.